students, welcome to an English language lesson. This lesson is for Form 5. It is based on the download textbook. The tip is People and Culture. We are learning Unit 10. The topic is Where on Earth? First of all, let's look at table of contents. So you have learning standards, introduction, reading, vocabulary, grammar and listening. Let's begin with the learning standards. Let's look at the main skills. Reading 3.2.1. Read a variety of suitable print and digital text to investigate and analyze global issues. Reading 3.1.3. Guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues provided by other words and by context on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. And the last one is listening 1.1.1. Understand independently the main ideas in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. Now for the complementary skills, we are reading 3.1.1. Understand the main points in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. And then we have reading 3.1.4. Use independently a range of familiar print and digital resources and some unfamiliar resources to check meaning and extend understanding. And the last one, listening 1.2.1. Guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues provided by other words and by context on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. Let's start with our introduction. Dear students, let's look at the three pictures here. Can you identify these famous places? What do you know about them? So first picture is Taj Mahal in India. It is a mausoleum. And number 2 is a picture of Stonehenge in England. It is a prehistoric monument. And the last one, picture 3, it is Machu Picchu in Peru. It is a city created by the Incas, and the cities or the ruins, they are over 500 years old. Let's look at question number 2. What are some of the similarities and differences between the places in one? So you have Taj Mahal, Stonehenge and Machu Picchu. Maybe you can say they are famous sites. So these are the some of the similarities, and they are also UNESCO sites and they are man-made. What about the differences? Okay, try to think of the differences and then you can discuss answers with your friends. Now let's look at exercise 3. Work with a partner and write down 3 famous places from your country. They may be buildings, sites, or natural features. You have 1 minute. Then later, you will watch this short video about Stonehenge and the surrounding countryside. What surrounds the village of Avebury. So do scan the QR code here so that you can watch the video. So this is the video that you are going to watch. And let's look at the answer for the question, what surrounds the village of Avebury? So the answer is 3 huge stone circles. Dear students, let's continue with the reading lesson. The first exercise, what makes a place worth visiting? Look at the criteria and tick the ones you agree with. Then think of a place that represents them. So here you can write your own answers. Dear students, you can write answers such as an area of natural beauty, it is Taman Negara. A place which is important in the past, you can say it is Malacca, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And a home to endangered species is Sipilok Orangutan Rehabilitation Center. A creative masterpiece can be the Petronas Twin Towers. Major geological feature is Mulu Caves. And rich cultural tradition, you can talk about the major festivals like Chinese New Year, Diwali, Hari Raya Aidilfitri, Keamatan Festival, and Sarawak Gawai Festival. Now students, read the text quickly. What can happen to a site after it has been added to the list? Here we are talking about the UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
B. To be included on UNESCO's World Heritage List, sites must meet at least one of the following 10 criteria. 1. Be a masterpiece of human creative genius. 2. Show an important exchange of human values. 3. Be proof of a cultural tradition or of a living or past civilization. 4. Be an outstanding example of a place from a significant stage in human history. 5. Be an outstanding example of a traditional human settlement that represents a culture. 6. Be associated with events, ideas, beliefs, artistic and literary works of outstanding universal significance. The committee considers that this criterion should preferably be used together with other criteria. 7. Contain outstanding natural phenomena or areas of exceptional natural beauty. 8. Be outstanding examples of major stages in Earth's history. 9. Be outstanding examples of significant ecological and biological processes. 10. Contain significant natural habitats for biological diversity, including threatened species.
C.
Site: Mausoleum of the First Qin Emperor. Year discovered: 1974. Year designated: 1987. Location: China. Category: Cultural. Criteria: 1, 3, 4, 6. Reason for designation: the army of famous terracotta warriors has stood to attention through the centuries, guarding the tomb of the emperor who united China. Thousands of statues still remain to be discovered at this archaeological site. Qin, 259 BC to 210 BC. The first unifier of China is buried here, surrounded by his terracotta warriors. The figures all have different faces. They also have clay representations of their horses, chariots, and war weapons. They are artistic masterpieces and have great historical interest, since the mausoleum is also associated with an event of worldwide importance: the unification of the different Chinese territories into one country by the first emperor of China in 221 BC.
D. Arabian Oryx Sanctuary. First site ever to be deleted from UNESCO's World Heritage List. June the 28th, 2007. The World Heritage Committee today decided to remove the Arabian Oryx Sanctuary from UNESCO's World Heritage List. The sanctuary, which was placed on the list in 1994, has become the first site to be delisted since the establishment of UNESCO World Heritage in 1972. UNESCO's reason for this was the fact that 90% of the site is being used to search for oil, so that the sanctuary could not be conserved. In 1996, there were 450 Arabian oryx living on the site, but that number has fallen to 65, and its future is uncertain.
Dear students, use the information in the text to answer the questions. Before that, let's look at the download. The 4 related tasks may include information about the history or development of something in these cases. You may have to answer questions about dates. So make sure you understand what each date refers to. What do the dates in the text, which is text C, refer to? Let's look at question 1 and 2. They refer to section A. What is the aim of UNESCO? So you have 4 answers here. To find the most important properties in the world, to ensure the continued existence of special places, to pass on the list of places to future generations, and D, to find inspiration in unique locations worldwide. So the answer is B, to ensure the continued existence of special places. Question 2. What are mixed properties? A. Places of cultural value close to natural areas. B. Sites that are not as important as cultural places. C. Areas that combine both life and inspiration. And D. Culturally important sites in special natural settings. So the answer is D. Culturally important sites in special natural settings. For question 3, it refers to section B. Which of the criteria is usually not used on its own? So you have 4, and you have the next one will be what is the criteria? You have 6, 8, and you have 3. So answer is C. Question 4 and 5 refer to section C. What is true about the figures in the mausoleum? So A, thousands of them have been found. They are not identical to each other. Their actual weapons were buried with them, and archaeologists discovered them in 1987. So the answer is B. They are not identical to each other. Question 5. Which event are the figures associated with? The beginning of the Chinese Empire, the war that divided China, the birth of a new Chinese emperor, and D. The discovery of new territories in China. So answer is A. The beginning of the Chinese Empire. Okay, let's look at questions 6 and 7. They refer to section D. Which year had the lowest number of oryx living in the sanctuary? 1972, 1994, 1996, and 2007. Answer is D, 2007. Question 7. The sanctuary was delisted because oil had been found on the site. It couldn't protect an endangered species. Only 90% of it could be conserved, and the oryx had moved to other areas. Answer is B. It couldn't protect an endangered species. And question 8 refers to section A, B, C, and D. Which sections give examples of cultural properties? A. Section A and B, B. Section A and C, Section B and C, Section C and D. So the answer is B. Section A and C. Now, exercise 4. Match these words to their meanings. So you have words diversity, heritage, inspiration, masterpiece, representation, sanctuary, and values. So number 1, something that gives you ideas. Answer is inspiration. A work of art made with great skill. So answer is masterpiece. The beliefs people have about what is most important in life. So answer is values. A picture or model of someone or something. So answer is representation. The quality of showing a great deal of variety. So answer is diversity. A protected natural area where animals live freely. Answer is sanctuary. And the last one, valued historic buildings and cultural traditions passed down from previous generations. So answer is heritage. Now let's look at exercise 5. Think of a place that is or you believe should be on the World Heritage List. Why is it significant? Write down the reasons why it is and should be considered as a part of our cultural or natural heritage. So here maybe you can answer National Park Taman Negara of Peninsular Malaysia. The National Park or Taman Negara is the first and the largest national park gazetted in the country. In Malaysia, as it was gazetted in 1938 or 1939, it has been considered as the hotspot for biodiversity, as it hosts many species of flora and fauna, and many of them are endemic, rare, valuable, or otherwise threatened in Malaysia. For example, the national park is considered as one of the richest areas in terms of plant species and genetic diversity, and it hosts more than 3,000 species of plants. The national park hosts the largest population of animals that consists of about 150 species of mammals, 479 species of birds, 53 species of freshwater fishes, and more. Now let's move on to the next lesson, which is vocabulary. For vocabulary, let's start with exercise 1. Label the map with these words. So you have Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and South America. So let's look at number 1. So it is North America. Number 2, Europe. Number 3, Asia. Number 4, Africa. 5 is South America. 6 is Antarctica. And 7 is Australia. Question number 2. Name some countries from each continent. You can do this by reading this simple Wikipedia where you have the list of countries by continent. Do scan the QR code given here. Dear students, the word in bold are in the wrong places. So you have 8 words here. Write them in the correct places. So we have words like mother tongue, non-verbal communication, official languages, personal beliefs, capital city, ethnic groups, native speaker, and dual nationality. Let's look at the first sentence. The mother tongue of Canada is Ottawa, but most people think it's Toronto. So answer is capital city. Number 2, Pam has non-verbal communication because her mother is Italian and her dad is Swedish. So answer is dual nationality. Someone's official languages and attitudes change and develop as they get older. So answer is personal beliefs. Pakistani Indians and Chinese are 3 of the many personal beliefs living in the UK. So answer is ethnic groups. Of course, Jacques knows French. He was born in Paris and is an capital city. So answer is native speaker. Belgium has 3 ethnic groups. Dutch, French, and German are all spoken there. So answer will be official languages. I speak some Greek, but I was born in the USA. So my native speaker is English. So answer is my mother tongue. Number 8. Things like smiling or closing one eye are examples of dual nationality. So answer is non-verbal communication. For exercise 4, complete the word groups with these words. So you have dialect, idea, planet, practice, society, and universal. Here you have number 1, custom, tradition, culture, civilization, world, globe, belief, concept, speech, language, global, and international. So let's look at the first one. Practice. So practice is in the same word groups. So you have custom, tradition, and practice. Or about number 2, culture, civilization, and society. Number 3, world, globe, and planet. Number 4, belief, concept, and idea. 5, speech, language, and dialect. And the last one, global, international, and universal. Next, we are going to learn collocation and expressions. Match the statements with the responses to form dialogues. Pay particular attention to the words in bold. Can you work out what they mean? So let's look at number 1. Thomas' new building is a masterpiece. He has got the world at his feet. So the answer is, I know. They say he's the best architect in Europe. Number 2. Guess who I saw while I was in Peru? Kevin Jones. So the next dialogue or the response is, no, really? It is a small world, isn't it? So number 3, I had to cancel my trip to India. I'm so disappointed. Response, never mind, it is not the end of the world. You can go next year. Petra never pays attention in geography. Response, she never pays attention to anything. She is in her own little world. I believe that too much money is spent conserving the UNESCO sites. Response, well, I don't agree. Our ideas about what is important are worlds apart. Isn't the Taj Mahal beautiful? I could look at it all day. Enjoy it. We are not in a hurry. We have all the time in the world. I've just checked on Mark and he is dead to the world. Yes, he was tired. He was working at the archaeological site all day. Sue, you are a woman of the world. Could you give me some advice on traveling in Asia? If I were you, I would read up on Chinese custom and traditions. Now for word formation. Complete the table. So you have first column verb, second noun, and the third adjective. Okay, so civilized is a verb, the noun is civilization, and adjective is civilized. Next we have nation. It is a noun, so the adjective is national. And next we have noun, geography, adjective is geographical. Locate is a verb, so the noun is location, and the adjective, no, there is no adjective. Next we have the noun, custom, so adjective is customary. Then the last one we have verb, exist, so noun is existence, and the adjective is existing. Dear students, for exercise 3, you have to complete the sentences with some of the words from 2. So let's get the answers. The ancient Greek civilization dates back to the 8th century BC and it lasted until around 600 AD. Africa's national parks are an important part of our world's heritage. Number 3, they say there was once a city in this jungle, but its exact location is still a mystery. Number 4, it is customary to give gifts or money in red envelopes on Chinese New Year. Many people doubted the existence of the lost tribe of Peru, but these photos prove they were wrong. Number 6, the geographical features of Scotland include rivers, lakes, and mountains. For question 4, we are doing exercise 4, we are doing prepositions. Complete the sentences with in, of, with, to, or, for. So here you have in, of, with, to, for. The yearly cost of conserving the site, allowing for salaries, come to 17 million euros. Some cultures believe in ghosts and spirits. Working for UNESCO calls for intelligence and ambition. Angkor Wat in Cambodia consists of many walls and 5 towers. I don't want to interfere with your work, but please be more careful with that statue. I objected to his comments on my culture. They made me angry. Dear students, let's move on to the grammar lesson. For the grammar lesson, today you're going to learn reported speech, statements, questions, commands, and requests. So let's read about reported statements, questions, commands, and requests. Reported statements and questions. We use reported speech to tell someone what another person said. We use reporting verbs such as say and tell. The main verb usually moves back one tense into the past. Example, Sally said, I speak Dutch. So you can write, Sally told me she spoke Dutch, or Sally told me that she spoke Dutch. Ted said, I've been to Asia. So the sentence is, Ted said he had been to Asia. So this is the reported speech. Or you can write, Ted said that he had been to Asia. When we report what someone said, we change the following personal pronouns: possessive pronouns, possessive adjectives, example, time, words, and phrases. Other words such as this, that, here, there, come, go, and others. Omar said, I respect your beliefs. So the reported speech, Omar said that he respected my belief. So your has been changed to my. I said I'll text you tonight. I said that I would text her that night. So tonight is changed to that night. Pam said this is my map. Pam said that was her map. So this we need to change to that. When we report a question, the verb is not in question form. It is the same as in statements. We often use the reporting verb ask. When is Joe coming back? I asked. So the reported speech is, I asked when Joe was coming back. So there is no question form. When the direct question begins with a question word, it is used in the reported question. Where is Wales? Kim asked. So Kim asked where Wales was. When the direct question does not use a question word, the reported question uses if or whether. Is Chan Chinese? He asked me. He asked me if or whether Chan was Chinese. Now let's look at reported commands and requests. We use tell to report commands and ask to report requests. We use an object after both. Okay, so wait here, he said to me. So you must write, he told me to wait there. Please help me, he said to us. So you have to write, he asked us to help him. When we report commands and requests, we change the imperative to a full infinitive. Come in, he said to his visitor. So you should write, he told his visitor to come in. Please don't touch that, she said to me. So you should write, he asked me not to touch that. Now read this sentence. Is it a question, positive request, or a negative command? Rewrite the sentence using reported speech. Which reporting verb did you use? Let's look at the sentence. Don't leave the country, the officer said to me. So it is a negative command. The reporting verb tell is used. The sentence, the officer told me not to leave the country. Dear students, remember, do refer to your textbook and read 10.1 to 10.3 of the grammar reference before you do the task. Dear students, rewrite the following in reported speech in your notebook. Number 1, we may have Chinese food tonight, he said. You can write, he told us that we might have Chinese food that night. Can you help me with my project on UNESCO, please? She said. She asked whether I could help her with a project on UNESCO. Have you heard of this civilization? Said the student to the teacher. The student asked the teacher if he had heard of that civilization. Africa is here on the map, the teacher said. The teacher informed that Africa was there on the map. Don't touch the statue, the guard said to me. The guard warned me not to touch the statue. What is the capital city of Australia? He said. He asked what the capital of Australia was. We are going to learn about Machu Picchu today, Mr. Jones said. Mr. Jones informed us that we were going to learn about Machu Picchu that day. I'll visit Stonehenge tomorrow, she said. She informed me that she would visit Stonehenge the next day or the following day. Put your camera away, she said to Guy. She told Guy to put his camera away. I was reading about the pyramids, I said. I told that I was reading about the pyramids. Dear students, now we're going to learn the second grammar item, which is reported speech, reporting verbs. So read about reporting verbs. We can use different reporting verbs to summarize what someone said. Different structures are used depending on the verb. So here, remember, verb plus object plus full infinitive. Okay, I'll come to Venice with you. She agreed. So agree is the verb. You can write the full infinitive to come to Venice with me. You should travel more. He advised. So advise here is the verb. Okay, object is me. So the full infinitive is to travel more. Next we have verb plus preposition and gerund. I didn't break that statue. He denied. So deny is the verb. Breaking is the gerund. The statue. I'm sorry I was late, he said. She apologized. This is the verb. Preposition is for and the gerund is being late. So she apologized for being late. The next formula, we have verb plus object and that. I didn't invite him, she said. She denied. So this is the verb that she had invited him. The site is closed, he said. He informed us. So inform is verb. Object is us, that the site was closed. Some reporting verbs can be followed by more than one structure. Let's visit Angkor, he said. He suggested visiting Angkor. He suggested that we visit Angkor. He suggested that we should visit Angkor. So here remember, there are more than one way to write a reported speech. Now read the sentence. What does it express? Rewrite the sentence in reported speech using suggest and 3 different structures. Let's take Spanish lessons, she said. So here, what does it express? It expresses a suggestion. So rewrite the sentences. She suggested taking Spanish lessons. She suggested that we take Spanish lessons. She suggested that we should take Spanish lessons. So dear students, remember, read 10.4 of the grammar reference in your textbooks before you do the task. Let's look at exercise 3. Choose the correct answers. Number 1, the guard, the visitor to put the statue down. So complained, ordered or denied. So answer should be ordered. My teacher me to do my geography project. Suggested, explained or reminded. Answer is reminded. The tour guide the tourist to visit Stonehenge. Answer, offered, advised, complained. So answer is advised. The man, the politician to save the site. Informed, apologized, begged. So answer is begged. My friend that we go to see the tomb. So suggested, refused, reminded. Answer is suggested. Team dinner of cutting the painting with a knife. Accused, denied, demanded. So answer is accused. Now rewrite the sentences in reported speech. Use the reporting verbs in bold. Write the sentences in your notebook. We have number 1, I'll take you to the emperor's tomb, Helen said. So you have to use the word offer. So the sentence is, Helen offered to take me to the emperor's tomb. Number 2, okay, I'll come to Europe with you, Steve said. So you have to use the word agree. Steve agreed to go to Europe with me. Number 3, I want to see your ticket, he said. So you have to use the word demand. He demanded to see my tickets. Number 4, I'm sorry I broke the clay bowl, said Lin. Use the word apologize. So Lin apologized for breaking the clay bowl. Number 5, the warriors are very old, he said. So use the word explain. So he explained that the warriors were very old. Number 6, I didn't steal the masterpiece, she said. Use the word deny. She denied stealing the masterpiece. We won't help you close the national park, they told me. So use the word refuse. They refused to help me close the national park. The last sentence, UNESCO has a great website, he told us. Use the word inform. He informed us that UNESCO has a great website. Dear students, let's continue the lesson with listening. For listening, first of all, label the pictures. So you have bedding, disposable nappies, mattress, and pram. First picture is disposable nappies. Number 2 is a pram. Number 3 is mattress. And number 4 is bedding. Dear students, for exercise 2, listen to some people speaking and write the words or phrases you hear, which mean the same as the phrases below. So here you have 7 phrases. Pregnant women, has a higher value, worries about the environment, studies disagree about that, not earning much money, a very young child, and the last one, looking after their children.
Unit 10. Listening. Exercise 2. 1,
It's important that expectant mothers eat a very healthy diet.
2,
Luckily for us, our house is worth more than it was 5 years ago.
3,
Manufacturers have had to change their methods because of ecological concerns.
4,
We may think that eating a lot of salt is bad for us, but actually that hasn't been proved.
5,
I get discounts on public transport because I'm on a low income.
6,
Jake, you're 10 years old, but sometimes you still behave like an infant.
7,
Single mothers obviously spend a lot of time on childcare, which makes it difficult for them to do other things.
Dear students, let's look at the answers. So here, you have to write the words or phrases you hear, which mean the same as the phrases below. Pregnant women. So answer is expectant mothers. Has a higher value. Answer is worth more. Worries about the environment. So answer is ecological concerns. Studies disagree about that. So the phrase is that hasn't been proved. Not earning much money. On a low income. A very young child. An infant. Looking after their children. Child care. Dear students, for exercise 3, you will hear a radio interview with a woman called Susie Wright, who is the health correspondent for a radio station. For questions 1 to 7, choose the best answer. So you have options A, B, or C.
Exercise 3.
Welcome to the Culture Show. Today, Susie Wright, our health correspondent, is going to talk to us about a way in which some babies get a special start in life.
That's right. I've just come back from Finland, where I've been talking to mothers and health experts about baby boxes. For over 75 years, the Finnish government has been giving all expectant mothers a gift of a cardboard box containing a mattress, clothes, toys, and other things a new baby needs.
Really? When did this tradition start?
It started in the 1930s, when the boxes were only available to mothers on low incomes. But in 1949, the government decided to extend the scheme to all mothers. In those days in Finland, a high number of babies were dying, so the government had a clever idea. It said that mothers could only receive the box if they went to see their doctor in the first 3 months of pregnancy. This made sure that the health and welfare of all mothers was checked, and, as a result, the number of infant deaths dropped.
So what's in the box exactly?
Clothes, bedding, a toothbrush, some nappies and other things. Mothers are offered a new box for every child they have, but they can take a sum of money instead and reuse the items for the second child. Most take the box though, because it's worth a lot more.
Does the box contain the same things as it did in the 1930s?
No, it doesn't. Some things have been added at various points and others have changed because of fashions in childcare or because more modern materials have been invented. These include stretchy fabrics for clothes and disposable nappies, which were easier and quicker for mothers to use. The nappies were actually changed back to old-fashioned cotton nappies, however, because people complained that disposable nappies were bad for the environment.
Apart from reducing the number of infant deaths, have the boxes had any other benefits?
Well, yes, a number of things. A recent report said that Finnish mothers were the happiest in the world, and experts think that the picture book included with the box helps to encourage children to look at books, and therefore later to read. The box and the mattress it contains can be used as the baby's bed, and this has encouraged parents to give children their own beds, which is better for them than sleeping with their parents.
You discovered another interesting custom regarding Scandinavian babies' sleeping arrangements, didn't you?
That's right. It's common practice in Scandinavian society to put your baby outside to sleep during the day. In Finland's capital city, Helsinki, I saw lots of babies in their prams sleeping outside cafes or nursery schools. The belief is that fresh air is healthier for the children than being together in the same room all day, especially in winter when there are lots of diseases going around.
But it can be freezing cold in Northern Europe.
I know, but parents often only start to bring their children inside when the temperature falls below about -15 degrees. The limit for some parents is -10, but others will just put an extra blanket over the pram at this temperature. The crucial thing, of course, is that the baby must be well clothed and wrapped, so it stays warm.
And does it make the children healthier?
It does seem to make the children sleep better and for longer, but studies disagree about whether it actually makes them healthier. It's a custom that's been in existence for many years, though, so unless new evidence proves it wrong, I don't think a change in habits is likely. The Scandinavians are quite sure that a little fresh air never hurt anybody.
Very interesting, Susie. Thanks for talking to me today.
My pleasure.
Dear students, let's look at the answers to these 7 questions. Why did the Finnish government decide to offer the baby box to all mothers? A. Too many families couldn't afford the things they needed. B. They wanted all expectant mothers to receive health care. C. Doctors complained that the original scheme was unfair. So the answer is B. Mothers can receive a baby box only for the first child, only if they pay for the second or third box, or C. every time they had a child. So answer is C. How have the contents of the box changed over time? Some items have changed because of ecological concerns. There are fewer things in the box now than there used to be. The boxes always contain the latest materials. So answer is A. Number 4. What cultural benefits have the boxes had? A. Finnish children are happier than children in other nations. The standards of reading in Finnish children has improved. There has been a change in family sleeping habits. So answer is C. What does Susie say about Finnish babies sleeping outside? Babies often sleep outside except in winter. Babies can sometimes catch diseases from sleeping outside. Sleeping outside is thought to be best for children's health. So answer is C. How do Scandinavian parents react to extremely cold temperatures? A. Children are never left outside in temperatures lower than -10 degrees. Parents differ in the temperature limit they think is healthy. They are never concerned about the cold weather. So answer is B. Susie said that the tradition of putting babies outside to sleep seems to improve the quality of their sleep, has been proved to improve children's health, will probably change in future years. So answer is A. Dear students, we have come to the end of our lesson for today. Do remember to subscribe to my channel. It is called Educator Omni Tube. See you in another lesson. Bye bye.